This is Don at haggertysmusic Works. Thanks for checking out part 5 of our in-depth look at the Mesa Boogie Mark V amplifier. Today we're going to look in Channel 2 at the Mark I mode. The Mesa Boogie Mark I is one of the most iconic amps in amplifier history. It redefined how guitar sounds. And the Mark V has this preamp circuit built in. So we'll give you a chance to hear it. First of all, where I'd like to start is just to give you kind of some tips on how to set up the Mark I channel, because it can get kind of flubby if you don't watch it. The key, as you can see with the controls on the screen, is we want to run the bass control low. Usually around 9 or 10 o'clock is a good setting for the bass control. The mid control you can also get away with running fairly low to a little above 12 o'clock. And the treble control is one of the most sensitive controls in the Mark I preamp circuit. You can usually run that pretty high, and the higher you turn up the treble control, the more gain you'll get. So keep those things in mind, and you should have no trouble dialing a great tone in on the Mark I preamp circuit. So on your screen, you can see how we've set up this Mark I preamp circuit, and we've set our power section to 45 watts, class AB, and the diode section in the back is set to silicon diodes, so this will most accurately reflect what the original Mark I was. So let's give it a listen. Well, now what we've done is we flipped the thick switch in channel 2 to on. This switch only works in the Mark I preamp circuit, and what it does is gives a little extra emphasis in the lower mid-range. Let's give it a listen. That's a really great tone right there. Really big and fat and bold, and it's really clear. It really responds well to the different pickups that you use and different guitars that you want to run through it also. It's also very dynamic. Really responds to how you play the guitar and your volume control changes, so we can check that out. If we run the volume control all the way up, then we start to back it down, well, now we've set our Mark I down to 10 watts in Class A. Here's something the original Mark I couldn't do. We've got our power amp crank, so you can really get some power tube overdrive, and this really adds some edge and bite to the otherwise fat Mark I tones. You can see how we've changed the EQ on the screen, and we'll give it a listen. Still in the 10 watt mode, we've re-EQ'd the channel a little bit and flipped on the preset depth control and set that at about 10 o'clock. Let's give it a listen. Well, now we flipped the thick switch on, turn the preset depth control way up, and re-EQ the amplifier a little bit. We'll give that a listen. Now we flip the amplifier over to 90 watts simulclass, and we've cranked the gain up a little bit. Channel 2 Mark 1 mode has just as much gain as any of the modes in Channel 3, so you can really use it for a singing lead tone. And we can hear just from switching it from 10 watts to 90 watts how much bigger and fatter the tone gets. You can further shape the tone of the Mark I circuit with a 5-band graphic EQ. You can see how we've set it on your screen, and this can produce a really sweet singing lead tone. One last tone we'll show you here in the Mark I preamp circuit is with this unique graphic EQ shape. This was actually submitted by one of the forum posters, and ever since I saw it, it's been one of my favorite tones. So we appreciate the feedback and suggestions there, and we'll give you a chance to give it a listen. I'm sure you'll like it. One really cool thing about this particular setup is, again, like a lot of the tones in the Mark I circuit, they're very touch sensitive to how you play the guitar and how you use your volume control. So I'll do my best to let you hear that as well. The Mesa Boogie Mark V, available at haggertysmusic.com.